I need like a hovercraft.
There you
Like
go.
an air ride.
Yeah.
To avoid the all the bumps
Yep.
and everything.
Are those out there? You got those out there yet?
The hovercraft. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I can.
See who
Maybe
you
I can
can
reach out, see if they want to do a sponsorship.
Yep.
Although it might be the noise would come from the inflation of the the pellet.
Right, the air. You'll just
Yes.
hear air all the whole time.
Welcome into Carpooling with Ben. Folks, you know, we tend to think about the Rhode Island Community Food Bank during the holidays, whether it be Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, New Year's, and really that's an important time to give, but so much happens the rest of the year, especially during the summertime when donations tend to drop off. So to really highlight the great work that they're doing over there at the Rhode Island Community Food Bank, please welcome into the car Hugh Minor. You are the Director of Communications.
Yes.
And we could launch some streamers and flowers and,
Yeah.
and stuff and announce you as the Executive Director?
No.
Just kidding. Hello to Mr. Schiff there.
Yes.
Doing a great job.
He's a great guy.
You guys have an amazing team over there.
We do. We have a great team. You know, we're working, I think, like you said, what people don't realize is we're working all year long to try to serve people in our community who need food assistance. You know, the number that we have, the average, about 57,000 people every month come to one of our agencies across the state for food. So the need for food and financial donations never stops. Many people are generous during the holidays. That tends to be when you're thinking about giving back. You're thinking about food and family and all of those things. But in the summer, we find donations drop. Food donations drop. Financial donations drop, but it's actually a time when we're still serving as many people, and sometimes even more. You know, one thing we see that happens during the summer months is children who are in school get their meals and snacks from school. Once school is out, their families really struggle with how are they going to fill that gap.
Temporarily, that channel shut off. Wow.
So we have, it's a slightly different demographic that we see come in during the summer, where it's families with kids trying to fill those gaps.
Wow, that's it's amazing. Just for those who are unfamiliar, people don't necessarily come directly to the food bank to get food. Actually, they don't come to the food bank to get food. You guys are essentially the hub, and you have various spokes that are the different outreaches into the different ops. So explain that whole system, how that works.
Sure, yeah. I mean, over the years, we've built this network of agencies throughout the state, and I like to say from Woonsocket to Westerly. So think about, the map of Rhode Island, and there's a total of 155 agencies, and that's everything from meal sites that cook and feed people, like the Warm Center down in Westerly.
Yeah, great people.
Or, a food pantry like the Johnny Cake Center down in Peacedale. So those are just two examples of the kinds of agencies in this entire network. And really they're focused on getting food and many other services to people in their community who need it. So they get their food through the food bank, and then we either deliver it to them or they come and pick it up, and then they make sure that it gets out to all of the people in need.
Your location in Cranston, your headquarters there, right on Niantic Ave, used to be a grocery store.
It
back
was.
in the day. Was it an Almax?
It was an Edwards.
Edwards, okay.
It's actually was been, depending on who you are, people come in the door and they say, oh, this used to be it was a Stop and Shop at one point.
Okay.
It was an Edwards and a Rojack's.
Wow,
So,
all right, so it was the full gamut. But
Yep.
now that location actually is a training center as well, on top of a processing center.
Sure, yeah, there's a lot of things that happen. I'd love for people to come into the food bank, and people are always welcome to come and take a tour. Because once you see it, you realize the scale of the work that we do. It's a giant warehouse. We distribute 200,000 pounds of food every week, coming in and out of there. But we have a job training program to teach people to work in the food industry. That's our Community Kitchen program, and we just this year are celebrating 20 years. So that program started in 1998. The folks running the food bank said, we have to do more than just get food out to people. We need to find a way to help people sort of get out of poverty, find a way to take care of themselves. So we started this program. It's a 14-week training program where people go through, they learn how to cook, they also learn all kinds of life skills, and then when they finish after the 14 weeks, they go get jobs in restaurants, cafeterias.
You have an amazing job placement.
It is. It's amazing. It's 85%, placement.
That's that's one of the most successful programs out there.
It really is.
You talk about it very calmly.
Yeah.
But that's excellent.
It's great. I think it has such a good reputation that companies are waiting, restaurants are waiting for the help.
The quality of the student coming out of there, the quality of the chef. I mean, and we're not talking they're going to, smaller restaurants. They're going to big name places. Nothing against the smaller restaurants.
No.
But they're going to, some of the top places on Federal Hill and up in Boston and other places.
Yeah, we have some great relationships with these restaurants. We have a bunch of people now at Capitol Grill, a great restaurant. We have former students all over the place. We have students who've opened their own restaurants. This woman, Eveline, she has the Garden of Eve, which people have heard of on Federal Hill.
Yeah.
It's Caribbean food, doing really well. And she graduated from our program. She had this vision to start this restaurant, and she's made a success of it.
That's so amazing, and really speaks to the mission of what you guys are doing. It's not just putting, the canned goods or distributing food. It's helping to educate and bring people up.
Right.
The rising tide raises all ships, and that whole scenario.
And these folks, they graduate from the program able to support themselves. That extends to their families. It extends to their broader community.
Well, Garden of Eve is offering jobs, and they're buying more goods and services from local vendors. So I mean, kudos to you guys for putting that together. That's an amazing track record for 20 years, which is excellent. When was the food bank founded?
The food bank was founded in 1982. That's when it originally was first founded as just a small warehouse on Allens Avenue.
Yep.
And then we moved into the place where we are in around 2000 or so.
Yeah.
When that, and then of course, 2007, the recession sort of hit, and that's when work became even more intense for us.
Sure.
Before that, we were probably serving about 33,000 people every month. And then, it's practically doubled since then, and remained level. That's the big surprise for many of us, is that at some point we expected those numbers to drop. But, what we're seeing is, you hear people are getting jobs now and all of that, but there's people still aren't earning enough to support themselves. And obviously, all of your other expenses have gone up, rent, healthcare, So even if you're working, particularly for families, they're really still struggling, and they come out to our pantries to get that extra assistance with food.
Yeah, no, that's great. Your facility in Cranston also serves as an event space. You recently had an event with some pretty well-known, popular chefs, Jacques Pépin.
Well, we did not at the food bank.
That wasn't at the food bank.
That wasn't at the food bank. We do events at the food bank. We often have things. We have our donors come in. We'll have luncheons. We have a holiday open house in December. Where we always welcome people in. But this big event was this community kitchen program. We've just started to partner with the Jacques Pépin Foundation.
Wow.
Now that's a new foundation that Jacques and his family have started as sort of to look at what his legacy is going to be, and his big mission is to develop programs like ours. So any way that he can help people learn how to cook, learn how to work in the food industry, he really believes, and we see this too, that it changes lives.
That's great.
So we partnered with them. Jacques' son-in-law, Raleigh Wesson, is a professor at Johnson & Wales, and so he connected with us, and he just started he would come in and teach our students cooking demos, different things, and so we've really built this relationship that culminated last week in this event down at Newport Vineyards, where we had some world-famous chefs. Ming Tsai was there, Rick Moonen. They prepared a 4-course meal with these fabulous wine pairings, and we ended up raising close to $200,000 that's going to support these types of programs.
That's excellent.
It's for a first-time event, it's amazing to
well,
bring
it
in.
sets the bar now,
it does set the bar. Right.
Good luck
what
next
do we
year.
do next?
Exactly. Well, speaking of what we do next, it's time to tap into Rhode Island and kick off the summer food drive. So tell us about it, starting just a few days.
Yep, we usually kick it off. There's never a bad time to give to the food bank, but to sort of mark the summer months, June 26th through August 31st. And the best way to get involved in the summer food drive is to have a food drive yourself.
Okay.
So wherever you work, or whatever group you have, a church or temple, host a food drive during the summer months and collect food. Make it a goal to collect so much, a certain amount. For example, we have the Children's Workshop, which is a group of daycares, and they just have a food drive all summer long. And at the end, they bring it in, and it's at least a few hundred pounds of food every year.
I know at the Paw Sox we have food drives, various nights, various games,
Yeah, the Pawsox, actually, they have the Pawsox wives run a food drive for us, and it's great. Every year, you know, they bring the food in. It's also just great visibility for us. Paws is out there cheering us on. So
he's good at that.
He's good at that. That's what he does.
Paws and Socks, both great, amazing cheerleaders there.
Yep.
How hard is it to organize a food drive for your business or your workplace?
It's not hard at all. In fact, there's a lot of information on our website.
Do I have to get a permit?
You do not.
Do I have to go before a board? Do I have to go get approval?
You say, you know what, I'm going to do a food drive. And then what we can provide you with, we have posters that we can give you to hang up in your place.
Perfect.
We have boxes. Then we have if it's going to be a bigger food drive, we have the big barrels, which with our logo on them that just say donate here. But you can do it, you know, however you want to do. So a lot of companies like to have competitions. Last summer we had Virgin Pulse, kind of new player in town.
Sure.
They did a
Sir Richard Bramson.
Yes, Sir Richard Bramson.
He watches a lot.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm
I
sure
hear this
he does.
on his queue for Facebook Watch.
He's modeling other stuff after this, so only it's on a food.
Yeah.
But yeah, they did a great food drive. They competed internally with the staff, and you know the winners got some kind of prize like a pizza lunch or something like that.
Great.
So
that's so awesome.
You know, and you can keep it really simple. If you have a business that has customers, you know, encourage them to come in. Maybe there's a discount you can give them for donating or something like that. You know, any way to engage people.
That's so great. And then of course, the food donations, the tangible food products are excellent. They're always welcome. Explain to people why sometimes cash is better or a monetary donation is better.
Sure.
How do you guys use that and maximize that dollar?
Yeah, we actually purchase about a third of the food that we distribute. So we're not getting as much food from the food industry because it's much more efficient. You know, you go into Stop and Shop with your card, they know exactly what you buy, so they don't buy more of that. So we have to purchase more food because it's not getting donated, but we also have purchasing power because of the quantities that we buy in. So we can buy about 3 pounds of food for every $1 that gets donated. So just think about, you know,
which is much more than the average consumer purchases for $1. So that buying power is something, you know, makes a huge difference.
Right. Like just for example, one of the peanut butter manufacturers is now giving us jars of peanut butter for $1. Wow. So you go to the market, you're never going to get a jar of peanut butter for that. So, you know, the more funds we have, the more resources, the more we can purchase.
You can spread out, you can spread it. Yeah.
And we also, to help you with that, we also have a new tool on our website that allows you to create a fundraising page. Okay. So much like GoFundMe or one of those tools, you can create that and just have people donate to it.
Is it called Go Feed Me?
It's not, but that is a brilliant idea. I might have to fix that tomorrow.
You can have that. But
it's actually called Everyday Hero.
All right.
Which
I
is
like
nice
that
too.
better. Yeah. That's a good ring.
It's nice too. But yeah, so you know, even if you're doing a food drive, you can still do this online fundraising tool as well, because sometimes you find people who say, "Oh, I wish I had known. I would have brought food in."
And people can get to that page right through your
right through our website,
which is
rifoodbank.org.
Okay, perfect. And can you do a monthly give?
Of course,
recurring gifts and stuff. That's right.
We have a program called Sustainers Harvest, which is a monthly giving program, and people donate everything from $5 to $100 a month, whatever works for your budget. You know, and that's a great way. We set it up easily. You don't even think about it. You know, once you're enrolled, it just happens every month, and you don't even have to worry about making your donation.
Folks, if the number one thing here is, if you haven't heard of the food bank, if this is the first time you're being exposed to the Rhode Island Community Food Bank, please take a look at their website, take a look at their social media, and check out the great things that they're doing. But also, if you got a group, whether it be a Boy Scout, a Girl Scout group, or just a civic organization, if you got a group of families or a seniors group, come take a tour.
Yep.
You have to see the place.
Yep.
It's amazing.
Yep. Come take a tour, and we're always looking for volunteers. It's a great way for a group to come in and get to work together. We have a lot of companies that come in. Citizens Bank is always sending in groups of volunteers, and they may be folks who don't work together every day, so it gives them an opportunity to work in a different environment. And it's usually we ask people to commit to a 3-hour shift. Okay. And basically what they're doing is sorting all of the food that comes in. So we have to make sure that that nothing is expired, that there's no jars that are broken, all of that stuff. And then we sort it into different categories to distribute it. But it's a great way, you know, to get your folks out there and really feel like you're participating.
That's a great way to do some team building, but also if you want to learn other ways to get involved, they can just reach out to you folks over there and you know, put together something different, whether it be for the summer food drive, food drives year round. It's all great stuff. Hugh, thank you so much for jumping in the car.
Sure.
I'm hungry now. We've been talking about food, so I think we got to go get something.
It's lunchtime.
It is.